Customer brought in this magnum-research Desert Eagle pistol out of Pillager,
You pillager!
Minnesota. Serial number on this one is DK0010875. And on this side of the slide it reads Desert Eagle pistol, made in the USA. This one's chambered in .44 Magnum.
And would blow your head clean off.
Customer brought this in complaining of reliability. He says every time he takes it out to shoot, it just doesn't function well. We brought it with several Pro Mags, these aftermarket magazines, and one original factory magazine. We know this is an original factory magazine by the markings. This magazine was manufactured July of 2008, and of course it's a .44 Magnum magazine. These Pro Mags don't have any markings, but you'll notice a dramatic difference in quality. Now, first thing you want to do really to test the quality of a magazine, the first thing you can do is push down on the follower, on the tip of the follower. If pushing down on the tip of the follower, if that follower drops and rises in a uniform fashion and it doesn't stick or drag anywhere, well, that's one thing good going for that magazine. This is probably a good magazine, and it's an original factory magazine. I would expect it to be a good mag. So this is a Pro Mag. Now, it's not sticking, but it certainly is dragging a little bit. Like the follower is just slightly too big, and it's dragging on the inside of the tube. It's not sticking, so that's a good thing, but the dragging can become an issue the more you use that magazine, more carbon buildup. Then, of course, it may end up sticking. Oh, look at that. The follower's already stuck down into the tube. See, so now the follower is all the way, it's risen all the way to the top of the tube. And when we push down on it, it sticks. Brand new right out of the packaging. And the deeper I go with it, the more it sticks. That's not good. So that needs to be remedied, or that magazine will never be reliable. Now that we have this pistol apart, the first thing that really stands out is this broken screw in the end of the barrel. Of course, there's 3 screws that hold the muzzle brake on, and it looks like one of them has broken away and someone tried removing it unsuccessfully. So we're going to have to remove that screw, but that's not the reason for the lack of reliability in this pistol. The reason for the customer's problems is trigger reset, and it's because of the thumb safety. Your thumb safety comes out as 4 separate parts. You've got your screw, your paddle, your spring, and this disc. I'm not sure what Desert Eagle calls it, but you've got this little cutout. It's a round, otherwise perfectly round disc, with the exception of this little cutout. Your trigger bar rides through this cutout. If when you put this disc back in, if you position it incorrectly, your trigger bar is going to have to ride along this surface, which is going to be humped, and so it's not going to reset properly. This cutout is there to allow the trigger bar to ride through it. And if you'll notice how that part is slotted to match that part, so if it doesn't go together right, then this will stand out a significant amount. Now that that's positioned properly, you take your detent spring and lay it down so that the rectangles match. And then you got the rectangle on your paddle there. That's going to fit through the spring. There it goes. Oh. Just get the screw in. There. There. So the whole problem with reliability was this disc was positioned incorrectly, and the trigger bar was having a hard time overcoming that hump. So now all our reset issues are fixed. So now we just got to get that screw out.
There's really been no easy way to remove a strip screw.
In the end, we decided to send the barrel back to Magnum-Research, have them remove and replace the broken screw. And they did it all for $89, including shipping. Let's get it back together. I got an idea. Let's go shoot it.
The proposal.
Safety first.
This first round of test fire was conducted over the summertime, and you'll notice right off the bat a little bit of inconsistency in the powder charge loaded into these cartridges. These turns out to be reloads. They're not formulated for a semi-automatic handgun. They're really meant for a revolver. The second round of test fire, which we did several months later, is 180 grain factory Remington, which again doesn't seem to have the consistency to cycle a semi-automatic slide. Our third attempt at test fire, we used a 225 grain Underwood. Thanks for watching, people.
Caliente.